Welcome to Shawn Conrad Unscripted. Real talk about life, hustle, and building the best version of yourself. Let's go.
We represent. Relax your mind if you're extra tense. Catch this bug like Spidey sense and bounce to the beat cause it's excellent.
Excellent.
We represent. Relax your mind. If
Snow in ATL, like significant snow in ATL. That's what happened this weekend. Yeah, it actually looked like it brought back memories, like I was in New York, because it was real snow, not like a third of an inch or something like that, or a slither of an inch. Like it was real. So I was out there shoveling in the ATL, shoveling snow. My youngest daughter is like, "Dad, this looks crazy." And I was like, I grew up in this. This is like normal. Like in New York, there could be 4 feet of snow. And if you get to work late, they're like, "Why are you late?" What? There's 4 feet of snow outside. Anyway, it wasn't too bad. It was pretty looking for a sec. It's always pretty looking in the beginning. And then, you know, when it gets all nasty from the cars driving by and the snow starts turning brown and black. And then at night it gets really cold and it gets icy. And then, you know, like, yeah, I'm kind of over it. I just want it to be gone. That's why I moved to ATL. Not because I'm used to the snow and I can handle it. And I was like, oh, this brings back so many good memories. No, I'm here because I don't want to see snow again. I'm cool with it. Like I'll go skiing if I want to see snow. Anyway, in other news, my mom had another fall in 7 days and she's getting weaker. She walks around with a walker inside, but she's weaker. So it's easier for her to fall, even with the walker. If she missteps sometimes or her legs feel weak, she can have a fall. I have all these things in place, right? I have this thing around her neck, this fall protection device that, you know, so if she falls, it'll alert me, it'll alert the neighbor next door, X, Y, and Z. I'll get a text message, an email, I'll know. On top of that, I have these cameras down there and she can be seen. She can be seen, I can check on her. It's not easy to just monitor the cameras. So that's really not how it works. It's not like they're on all my screens. Like you get an alert that there's movement in her space and I'll check and see if she's okay. She's making breakfast or in the living room just watching TV or what have you, right? So you put these things in place because our parents get older and we got to make sure they're okay. You don't want them in a situation where she's fallen and she's suffering. She literally can't get up and she's suffering. It could be something even more dire. So I had to go down and help her. And she was okay, thank God, physically. And that starts conversations. And again, I never thought about this in my future. I never thought about taking care of my mom after I left the house. You just think you're going off and you're doing your own thing. But I had to sit down and think about what happens like if I'm not close by, if I'm away. The fall detection device would alert the neighbors and then the neighbors can come in and help my mom out and all this stuff. But while trying to keep my mom home with me in a nice space. She got her 2 bedrooms, her kitchen, a washer, dryer. She has a little dog down there. It's all above ground. There's windows all around, just trying to hook her up. At the same time, I'm trying to provide those things. I had this thought, man, can I do it successfully? Can I watch over my mom and make sure she's okay and doesn't have an accident where she's really hurt? Can I do that successfully? If I'm not around, I go out, X, Y, and Z. I'm with Sydney at a tennis tournament or something like that. Like, you have to start thinking about these things. I was talking with my mom because I know my mom does not want to be off somewhere in some place. I know that and I respect it. I respect it. Why do I respect it? Because I think, even though my mom has not expressed it this way, I think that just thinking back to my grandmother and my grandfather, it was like when they went off to what they call a nursing home, I think it strikes you as, oh, that's the last stop. I think I respect my mom not wanting to do a situation like that because maybe she's thinking about her parents, my grandmother and grandfather. Like that was the last stop. That means like, you know, and it's a heavy topic. It's a heavy topic. So, I was just having a conversation with my mom, like asking her, what does she think is the best way to keep her safe and thriving? And I still hear that she frowns upon going anywhere because I think that's what's in her head. Like that's a last stop type of thing. At the same time, I want to make sure she's protected or has the right people around her to make sure she's good. And these are like hard conversations, hard decisions. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, these are tough. These are tough because I have to think about everything. In the space I'm in right now, which I got because when I first brought my mom to Atlanta, she's leaving her home that she's in. And I wanted to make sure she has a bit of a replica of that, her own space. And for me, I have my own space, right? These are two grown adults trying to be close for safety, but still trying to have their own space. Now, fast forward 8 years later, my mom's weaker. She has the Parkinson's. She's still moving around, still exercising down there and everything. But I'm like, oh, do I bring her up from there to where I am? That really won't work because there's many things. It's multi-layered. But there's all this carpet up here, and she can trip over this carpet. And sure, yeah, the carpet can be pulled up, but who knows what's under there? And then that's this takes some time, some investment, some hiring, X, Y, and Z, right? Also, I have plenty of stairs in here. So to get to any bedroom, you have to go up the stairs, 20 something flights of stairs or whatever. To use the kitchen, you have to use it down the 20 flights. So if she was on one level because she can't navigate stairs, would her bedroom be in the living room, in the family room with no doors? So the mind goes crazy, right? So now I'm thinking about, I might need a home that can accommodate better, split level. Your mind starts running, right? Thinking about, oh, what's a better setup in the home, right? Me on a right side on a single level, my mom on the left side on a single level, and then maybe there's a caregiver in one of the rooms that's here 24/7. I don't know. Or is the right move, hey, mom, I think it's best to be at a place, and not even a nursing home, because I think of nursing homes as there's a bed, it's like a hospital, but like an assisted living where there's staff in case anything happens, my mom can be taken care of. That would be a tough decision, but the mind is working, right? The mind is working. Because you have to think about the next year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. You have to think that way. You have to think that way. Yeah. So it's interesting at the least, and also very trying just to wrap your head around all of it. I still have a 16-year-old that is here, or I have to take to events and make sure she's straight. You know what I'm saying? As well as try to make sure my mom is good. You know what I'm saying? That's important to me. When you think about changing the home, you got to think about school districts. You got to think of, there's a whole list after that. Right? It's a little complex. So I share all this to give a heads up to people who may not be here yet, to bring awareness for people who just don't understand, to help people prepare if need be, and also to think out loud for myself to try to remedy things in a way that works mostly good for all parties involved. You know what I'm saying? That's what the last 3 or 4 days have been like. A little bit of snow, people going to the grocery store, emptying out the grocery store like it's the apocalypse because of a little bit of snow. And my mom, just trying to make sure my mom is good. Trying to make sure my mom is good. And just all else that comes with, you know, how I'm maintaining my living, you know what I'm saying? Like with work and making sure I'm staying sharp. I'm executing. Yeah. So some moments are great. Some moments, you know, you can be a little, you feel like the water's right here. Sometimes the water's right here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm faithful. I'm prayerful. I'm also grateful. I'm also grateful that my mom is here. I get to talk to my mom. I get to laugh with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I get to enjoy my daughters, and I'm grateful for that. All this stuff that I was talking about, I can figure that out. I can figure that out. Because I believe that God is not going to leave me alone. He's not going to leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, I would have been out of head and jacked up decades ago. Think of your worst situations from back in the day, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago. If you're here listening to this, you got through it. Just your worst situation. Just think back about your worst situation. If you're listening to this, you got through it. Somehow, as crazy as it was, you got through it. Maybe not unscathed, but you're here. That's the part that makes me grateful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like focus, tunnel vision. It's going to be okay. Because I believe it. I believe it's going to be okay. I believe that I'm not just going to be left for broke, left for dead. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be okay. The week is about to start, and I have to stay focused. I have many things on my little list, phone calls I need to make, just to make sure I'm planning and I'm proactive. You know what I'm saying? Proactive. And we'll see what each day brings. You know what I'm saying? What each day brings. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. So anyway, keep your eyes open. Try your best to be thoughtful, because people could be going through some things. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so support or empathy or sympathy sometimes is in order. And sometimes people do need to hear that you can resonate with them, because, you know, sometimes people feel like they're going through things by themselves. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this crisis and it's crazy and I'm doing it by myself, you know. But sometimes, you know, because we're human. We're human. We do like to know that somebody gets what we're going through. That's just what it is. So anyway, until the next time, peace.
What? Thanks for checking out Shawn Conrad Unscripted. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend, and follow me at The Life of Shawn C. Until next time, keep building your best life.
We represent. Relax your mind if you're extra tense. Catch this bug like Spidey sense and bounce to the beat cause it's excellent.